Welcome to Agents of Nothing, an episode-by-episode recap and analysis from the perspectives of a veteran and a new recruit. And now, a quick word from our sponsors.
And welcome to our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast.
Hello.
We are your commanding officers. I'm Mariah.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 5, Girl in the Flower Dress.
Woohoo!
So Caroline, go ahead and give us a rundown of the characters that we meet.
Absolutely. So, we actually meet several new characters in this episode. I feel like we kind of only met a couple at a time, one at a time in the last few, but this one we meet several.
Yeah.
So we have Chun Ho-yin, a.k.a. Scorch, a.k.a. a real hothead. Just kidding. He actually seems pretty cool. We meet Reina, who is the girl in the flower dress. She's very persuasive. Then we meet Miles Leiden, who is a world-class hacker that every hacker knows about. Somehow, especially Sky.
Especially Sky.
Especially.
In the biblical sense.
Yeah. And we also meet Agent Kwan, who is basically the Coulson of the Chinese branch of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Love it.
So, let's get into this episode.
Let's get in.
We open on a street magician performing in Hong Kong, China. The performer says something about how every man is a mystery. Some hold regular secrets, but some hold very dark secrets. And then he pulls out an egg.
This is my dark secret. I lay eggs.
So then he turns that egg into glitter, which, that's a good trick. I would love that trick.
It is a good trick.
But he gets heckled by the crowd, so then he, throws a stream of fire at them. And that's a good trick.
Yeah. I don't think that I've ever been in a crowd for a street magician and been like, ugh, these tricks are so lame. He's only doing normal magic.
It's just a trick.
Sleight of hand, that's so last year.
Oh,
I
no.
expect more from your run-of-the-mill street magician.
You should have actual magic.
I don't know, even in the MCU, okay? Even taking place in that universe, I cannot imagine a scenario where someone would crowd around a random street magician on the street and expect him to have superpowers.
Right.
Looking at a magician and being like, ugh, it's just a trick. Duh.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So originally this episode was supposed to be set in Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was supposed to be in Japan with a Japanese guest character. But after trying to film in Little Tokyo and Los Angeles, the crew decided it wouldn't work well enough. It didn't look enough like Japan. And they couldn't go to Japan because they've already spent all of their budget on the last few episodes.
Went to fucking Sweden and Peru and everywhere else. Paris.
That's a joke. I don't know if that really happened. But anyways, they figured it wouldn't work well enough, and the episode was rewritten to feature a Chinese character so that filming could take place in Chinatown instead. Yeah. And so the actor Louis Ozawa, who plays Chun Ho-yin, he speaks fluent Japanese, which is why he was cast.
Cool.
But he does not speak Cantonese. So after they cast him, they told him that the character had been changed to Chinese.
Oh my God.
And so he only had a few days before shooting to learn his new lines phonetically.
Oh my God.
Not even the structure or the feelings behind the lines, just learning how to sound out his lines.
Yeah, God. I mean, good for him though. It worked. Not that I...
Yeah. As someone who doesn't speak Cantonese, it sounded good to me.
Yeah, it sounded great. He did a good job.
He's doing better than me. So he is actually Japanese and Taiwanese.
Oh, okay.
He was born in New York, and he was raised both there and in Japan. And so something that we think, we wanted to address something in this episode that, it's not really our place to comment on it and go into detail or give our objective opinions as two white women, but we do think that it's important to see the problematic nature of casting an actor of any Asian descent to play another.
Right.
It perpetuates the idea that Asian identities are interchangeable when Asia is a very, very big continent with so many cultures and ethnicities, and they're all unique.
And they don't look like each other.
No, and I can't believe, I mean, this was filmed within the last decade, so
it's ridiculous.
You'd think we wouldn't be doing this anymore, but we're still doing this to this day.
Yeah. Anyway, so now that we've gotten that addressed.
now that we've addressed that, we can continue.
A woman comes up to this magician after his show, and she's flirting, and we find out that his name is Chan Ho Yen, and her name is Reina. And then they talk a little bit. They decide to become either business partners or lovers. It's unclear. Could go either way.
Pretty much the same thing too. Kind of like how communism is the same as periods.
Yeah, definitely.
Business partners are to lovers as communism is to menstruation.
Absolutely. No explanation needed.
I think that speaks for itself.
So, Chun brings Reina back to his place where he apologizes for the mess because he's, quote, in between places. And then he clarifies that he's actually been there for 6 years, which is a whole mood.
I have
my life.
been there. The whole 3 years that we were living in Baton Rouge. I was like, oh, I'm just in between places. We've been here 3 years, but it's just temporary.
Right. Anyway. So then, they're talking in his apartment, and they're flirting, and he shows Reina that he actually has real magic fire hands. And so she's like, getting real interested, getting real close. And
that's hot.
Yeah. Yes.
That sound was me slapping my knee.
So she's like, ooh, show me more. Close your eyes. And then we get like a whole code 2319 on him. And these like random guys in hazmat suits just come and kidnap him. Unfortunately, there's no explosion. I think they might be done with explosions, and that makes me sad. But
it's another one where they got close, but no dice.
Yeah. I mean, technically there was fire, so I guess that counts.
That counts. So Ruth Negga, who is an incredible Academy Award, Critics' Choice, Golden Globe nominated actress. She is introduced as Reina, the titular girl in the flower dress.
Amazing.
She played Mildred Loving in the movie Loving that came out in 2016, which is about how interracial marriage became legalized. Oh. Yeah, she's an incredible actress. I love Reina. Like, I can't wait to get into her more. I love her.
So we cut to the shield plane where Ward and Skye are playing Battleship, and Skye is kicking his ass. And Ward is actually kind of being nice to her, except that he does start his compliment off with, I never thought a hacker could be a good fit. And, like, that is so stupid. Like, a hacker would objectively be the best fit in a secret government agency full of super spies.
Hello?
Like, that's a no-brainer. But whatever. At least he's giving her some credit. He even gives her a compliment and a smile. Whoa.
Wow.
And then we see that mom and dad are watching them, and they're so proud of their babies falling in love with each other.
Aw.
So cute.
That Battleship game is not training.
No.
That is flirting. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
That is flirting. He's like, I'm going to show her that I can have fun. I have a sense of humor.
I can tell a joke.
I'll show them all. But I can't lie. It's cute. They're cute together, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So then we get interrupted by the mission bell, It's ringing. And they learn that... Did you say ding ding? They learn that one of the supers that S.H.I.E.L.D. keeps track of has gone missing. Skye is just now learning that S.H.I.E.L.D. does actually keep track of superpowered people with a list called the Index. And Skye is somehow surprised by this.
Why?
Like...
It seems pretty obvious.
Like, I hadn't heard about the Index before, but it does not surprise me in the least. So, since we know that S.H.I.E.L.D. knew about Chan, his kidnappers must have been another organization. So then Skye is like, well, what else does S.H.I.E.L.D. use to keep track of people? Like, are they bugging their phones? Do they have, like, GPS trackers, body probes? And Fitz is extremely concerned about the body probes. He's like, no. S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't use body probes, do we?
Please tell me S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't use body probes. Please tell me.
And Coulson does a great job of quelling his fears. He's just like, very cryptically, well, the methods vary. Which tells me that Coulson currently has a body probe somewhere inside of him at this very moment.
That's the only explanation.
The only one. So then they hop on a Zoom call with Agent Kwan and the Chinese S.H.I.E.L.D. team, and they are investigating Chan's apartment, and he shows them what he calls aluminized material, which Simmons immediately recognizes simply by looking at it while it's inside a Ziploc bag and on a video call screen.
So smart.
Incredible. She recognizes it as fireproof clothing, which, like, is she really just that good, or is that the only thing that aluminized material could mean? I don't know. I didn't look it up. It could just be that that's what that means.
A little bit of both, probably.
So, as it turns out, the Rising Tide actually hacked the Chinese S.H.I.E.L.D. data feed, and so everyone immediately looks at Skye, and honestly, I did too. So, then Coulson and Ward and May kind of step away, and they're talking about this and trying to decide if Skye was actually part of it, and Ward actually believes Skye and defends her. Like, he's smitten.
What a change of heart, huh?
Real smitten kitten.
He's got a crush.
So then we cut over to Hong Kong, where Raina is torturing Chan, and she tries to get him on her side by saying, like, I come as a friend. And he's like, English is not my first language, but that word definitely means something different than what you think.
That's a really good line.
It's really good. So Raina convinces Chan to try her testing by giving him a superhero name of Scorch and promising him all the fame and recognition of Captain America. And honestly, that probably would have convinced me too. I mean, we all cried to the part in Long Live by Taylor Swift where she talks about being remembered. So that would have gotten me too.
Don't even mention it. Oh my God, I'm going to cry now.
I know. So anyway, Chan decides to be Scorch, which I assume is a comic book character because that's a terrible name.
Raina is my favorite villain.
She's a
I don't know,
good
the
villain.
way that Ruth Negga delivers her lines is, I don't know what it is about it, but she plays a really good villain.
She does.
She's like so like persuasive. You said persuasive, but like buttery almost.
Yeah, it's like you want to trust her, but you know that you shouldn't. So we come back over to the S.H.I.E.L.D. team, and they are discovering that the hack actually took place in Austin, Texas. So, like, does Raina brought him to my house? Apparently. But then, actually, she didn't. It was just that the hacker is in Austin, Texas. And the hacker, as it turns out, is some guy named Miles Lydon. Not Skye.
Not Skye.
And his claim to fame is being a hacker that everybody knows, which sounds like a bad hacker to me. I feel like if you're going to be a hacker, shouldn't you be a secret hacker? But also that he leaked that weird picture of Putin on a horse.
Timely.
Very.
Timely reference.
And then Fitz gives Skye like the sweetest, most excited look about like,
He's like, you know, a
all
celebrity.
of this. He's so excited. So then we cut to Austin, Texas. And I thought it was really cool. Like, they actually got footage of downtown Austin. Like, I recognized the Owl building. And, like, I could almost see my apartment from the like drone shot that they use. It was really cool.
That's so wild. There's an episode in a much later season that like briefly mentions Baton Rouge.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and it aired while I was living there, and so I was so excited. But then it turned out that the one scene that was in Baton Rouge was in a parking garage.
Ugh.
So it was likely not filmed on location.
Oh,
I
no.
really doubt that they flew to Louisiana to film in a parking garage.
I don't know. Once we see it, maybe I'll recognize that parking garage.
You know, it's very well known that parking garages in Louisiana look different than parking garages elsewhere.
It's true.
We have a very unique parking garage architecture.
Yeah.
This is a joke.
Anyway, so Ward stalks Miles through Austin, and he finally finds him, but Miles immediately recognizes him because they look exactly alike, to me at least. And in fact, I bet that Miles and Skye had a thing, and that Ward is going to be, like, jealous now.
You think they look alike?
I
don't
really
at
do.
all.
They look exactly the same to me.
I don't think so. Miles is my type. Ward is not.
Same song, different genre.
I don't know.
Anyway, so then we enact the chase scene, and listen, something about Ward yelling while he's running was so funny to me.
Oh my god. I was laughing
I've been
so
made!
hard. I've been made! I was watching the episode while I was doing my makeup. I almost poked myself in the eye with the eyeliner.
So Miles, he gets away because he uses a computer code on his phone to like gridlock all of the traffic lights in town, which I think probably are like still in effect right now, currently along I-35 every single day, all the time, constantly.
Niche location humor.
But Miles does get away, and he gets back to his apartment where Skye is waiting for him. Because she was in on it? No. She actually just warned him that he was a suspect. And then they have sex. And I knew they were a thing. Didn't I just said it. I knew they were a thing. And then we have the scandalous post-coitus shoulder shot.
I do remember being like, oh, I can't believe they're showing this on television.
A shoulder?
I was 18 and a sheltered homeschooled girl.
Yes.
And I was like, someone is in their underwear on TV? Oh my god.
Wow. And you're watching it with your dad.
I was. Oh my god. For the longest time with my parents, whenever we would watch something that had, like, even the hint, not even, like, a sex scene, but if it was implied that two characters, like, went off screen to have sex, they were like, I don't know why they have to have all this sex in TV nowadays.
My parents did the same thing.
But Miles he's really cute and charming, I think. I can definitely see what Skye sees in him.
I
Much more
disagree.
than Ward.
Not me. I can't.
It might be a me thing.
I think it is.
Miles has that same sort of pretentiousness that I find both infuriating and weirdly attractive.
That is your thing. Absolutely. Pretentious is your thing.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that I like about my boyfriend. Like, it's like I roll my eyes. He annoys the crap out of me, but deep down, it's a little sexy. Only a little.
Cannot relate.
But actually, Chloe Bennett and Austin Nichols, who plays Miles, they started dating after they met filming this episode.
Really?
Yeah.
I can see that.
You can feel that chemistry. It's
Definitely.
Electric. I definitely see why actors are constantly falling for their love interests.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally cast based on how much chemistry you have.
For sure.
Like, you get in the casting room and they're like, oh yeah, I can tell those two want to fuck each other. Cast those two. Like, I don't know why anyone's surprised.
For real.
Like, you can be professional to a point, and it's not like a hard and fast rule, obviously, but when you're attracted to someone and you have to pretend to be in love with them, our lizard brains don't know the difference sometimes. And that is why I could never be an actor, because I fall in love with everyone.
True. Yeah. Even me. Just kidding.
I mean, your mom thought for a while.
That's true. She did. She kept asking me. Anyway, so Sky and Miles, they talk for a while in their underwear about their different philosophies about S.H.I.E.L.D. as an organization and, like, the idea of freedom of information. And while they're talking, I realize that they are literally the same height difference as Mariah and Aaron.
Aaron is my boyfriend, in case any listeners don't know.
Right.
I think I've mentioned him a lot over the last couple episodes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be that girl that's always like, my boyfriend actually, my boyfriend did this. Did I mention that I have a boyfriend? It's just we've been together 6 years and we live together. I don't have much else to talk about.
Right. My boyfriend's here right now. He'll probably fart at some point and you'll hear him.
Guest co-host.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend's farts.
Anyway, so they're talking and
being the same height difference as us.
Yeah. Sky's trying to find her clothes and then boom, busted. May caught them with their pants down, or their shirts off. And we find out that she's actually been like listening at the door this whole time. May, you pervert.
She was ready. She was standing there with the shirt, like she was posing.
How long did she have it held out like that?
How long do you think she had to stand there? Like, oh, this will be so good when she finally opens this door.
Oh my God.
My God. Having your coworkers walk in on you post-coitus sounds like a nightmare I might have.
It sounds
like,
awful.
Even more so when it's someone that you should not be having sex with. But and we have no idea how long they've been there. Like, it's never mentioned. What if,
No.
Oh God, what if they heard them? I would die. I would simply pass away.
She was there the whole time. Like, that's awful. Anyway, so Coulson shows up and the whole team is searching Miles's apartment while Coulson does not talk to Sky. He just like keeps giving her the disappointed dad finger when she tries to explain herself, like, not now. And he also says that he sent May to follow her. So that's how we know that she was there the whole time, which is awful.
Oh God.
And then Fitz's feelings are hurt because he was like, I thought Sky was our friend. She didn't even tell us that she had a boyfriend after everything we've been through.
That's so sweet.
And I'm mad at her now. He broke my little baby's heart.
Oh my God, it's so sweet. Like, she didn't tell us about it.
So cute. And Simmons is like trying to like make him feel better, but she's also trying to like be a pal to Sky, but you can tell that she feels betrayed too. I'm so sad.
Sweet Gemma. She's trying to be understanding.
I know.
They're so cute.
So then we cut back to Chan getting his booster shot in his spine, both for COVID and to temporarily enhance his powers. He even made like a whole fire tornado in his hand, which is crazy.
Yeah. So the like fire power effects, they were like a mixture of practical and visual effects.
Oh, really?
Which this show, I think that's probably why like a lot of the special effects look so good, because they don't rely totally on CGI like they they use all of the tools that are in their toolbox.
For sure.
So LED lights were used during filming to get like the interactive lighting from the fire.
Oh,
so like
okay.
the fire was added digitally, but there were like red and orange lights flashing on the wall.
Cool.
Isn't that so cool?
That's amazing.
Gary D'Amico, who is the special effects supervisor, says that he lit a boulder attached to a zip line on fire to simulate the fireballs.
That's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's like, how do they think of these things?
Yeah.
A boulder?
It's so creative.
They must mean something else by a boulder. How do you set a rock on fire?
They just put alcohol on it? I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not smart.
Yes, you are.
And then Mark Kolpak, who is a visual effects genius, king, he composited the content together, and he enhanced it further with digital fire simulations. So, like, there was the boulder on fire going down a zip line, and then he, like, superimposed more fire effects on top of it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and then for the scene where Chun Ho-yin is, like, burning, it took 6 hours for those burn prosthetics to be applied.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Imagine this job where you get cast for one character, and then they call you and tell you that they changed the character's ethnicity and language, and also you need to be in hair and makeup for 6 hours so that you can look burnt.
That's insane.
It's a paycheck.
It certainly is. And a good one. I hope it was a good one.
I hope it was. Marvel money.
Anyway, so then Simmons is learning more about Miles, including that he runs a whole mob on Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Fucking nerd.
No shade to anyone who plays Minecraft.
How do you have a mob? How do you have a mob on Minecraft? I don't know how Minecraft works, but I feel like that's not, I don't know. Anyway, so May goes to Coulson and she's telling him that she never trusted Skye, but Coulson did, and that's why he's so disappointed that she would betray them like this, and he still thinks that she's hiding something else. So Ward walks in to the interrogation room to talk to Skye and Miles. He's got his little French tuck, like, okay, Ward, I see you watching Queer Eye.
He's showing out. He's like, I'm gonna show her what she's missing.
We see you. We see you.
I think headcanon that in the few hours between them finding Skye and Miles and Ward going in to question them, Ward had an entire episode of Queer Eye, and Tan France told him, in order to get this girl to see your worth, to see what we see in you, Ward, you gotta do that French tuck.
Absolutely.
That's how you get the girl. You do the French tuck.
That's how you get the girl.
That's how the first We're not gonna, this is gonna be a Taylor Swift podcast by the time we're done with it.
It truly is. Anyway, so
continue.
We find out that Miles sold the info that he hacked from S.H.I.E.L.D. to this, like, Monsters, Inc. corporation for $1 million, and he's acting like that's not a bad thing. And Skye has to remind him, like, nobody willing to pay that much for information ever has good intentions.
Seriously, like, that's common sense.
Like, come on, dude. And so it turns out Raina actually got to him and told him that he had a gift, and then she was the one who pointed him in the direction of the Chinese S.H.I.E.L.D. data feed.
I love it. Honestly, go Raina. Like, I don't know, I could be wrong about this, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that, like, most of the people to be seriously tricked by Raina are men.
Yeah.
And it's like, all you have to do to get a man to do what you want is be like, I think that you're really special, actually.
Surely.
Actually, you're not like any man that I've ever met before. And I think that you should do this for me because I'm very hot and I talk like this.
Exactly. That's all she said. And then they were like, yeah, anything you want.
And that's like her line. That's like her line. Everyone, you have a gift.
It is. Absolutely.
Scammer queen.
So Miles does reveal that the money that he got came from a testing facility that does ecological testing on centipedes, apparently.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Like, at least he tried to look it up, I guess. But also, he's apparently, like, the best hacker in the world, and he couldn't see that this place was bad news. Like, blinded by dollar signs.
God. I like that she, like, I like that Skye drops him as soon as she realizes that he's shadier than she thought.
Yeah.
Or even, like, God, not even shadier, but, like,
just stupid.
Dumber. Yeah, that's like the biggest turnoff, where it's, you know, you're with the guy because you're like, wow, he's so smart and he, you know, has all these great ideas. And then one day you realize, like, God, he is not as smart as I thought he was.
He's so stupid.
And then you dump him.
Yes, exactly. Love it. That's like my catchphrase, dump him.
Dump him.
So then we cut back to Raina with the fake doctor from the first episode. The doctor, which, does she have a name? I don't know. I don't think they ever tell us.
I think they say it in this episode, or at least the Wikipedia said that her name is Debbie.
Yeah. Well, I never heard her name.
Such a supervillain name.
It is Debbie.
Dr. Debbie. Hi, I'm Dr. Debbie. I'll be murdering you today.
Anyway, so Dr. Debbie is teasing Raina about how she managed to convince Chan to agree to the chest. And she's like, you gave him a name, didn't you?
God, it's...
So then she orders Raina to like go ahead and break him back down. So whatever they did to him to boost his powers is now going to destroy him. So they like, apparently his blood platelets themselves used to be fireproof, but to create this like serum or whatever, they removed his blood platelets, which is that possible? I don't know. That doesn't sound possible.
Oh, I think you might have misheard her. I don't think they said like break him down or whatever. They said drain him. So I think they're fully just like trying to take all of his blood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, and it's they inject him with the centipede like super serum, and then since it's in his bloodstream, his blood platelets balance it out, and he won't like the serum will no longer make people explode because it now has the fireproof blood platelets from him, and so they're trying to drain all of his blood in order to make the serum work.
Okay. But wouldn't he have just dropped dead without any of his blood?
Well, yeah, they didn't care about that.
Well, I know, but then he, like, still was walking around, though.
No, they didn't get to finish.
Oh. Okay, anyway.
They burst in before they can finish.
Gotcha. Anyway,
Anyways.
so now his fire burns his own skin. That's the moral of the story.
Moral of the story.
He is no longer fireproof. So then we go back to Miles and Sky. They're still in the interrogation room. And Miles is trying to explain why his decision to sell a man out for money was actually a very good and normal and healthy decision. And in doing so, he comes for Sky's van. Like, low bro. Low bro, bro. Low blow, bro.
Lover spat.
Yeah. And Sky is like, dude, an innocent man is gonna die for money. And Miles is like, I would never intentionally hurt anyone. Like, yeah, but actions have consequences regardless of your intentions. So, like, maybe saying that you didn't think about the potential consequences of your actions when you were selling people out isn't, like, the best flex to try and get your girlfriend to come back to you.
God, that's all. I didn't mean to. Yes, that fixes everything.
I didn't mean to. I just didn't think about anybody else. So he's like continuing to whine and he's trying to like gain her sympathy back. And he's like, Sky, like you found your purpose, but I still don't know what mine is. I thought it was you, but I guess I was wrong. Like clearly, because people can't be a purpose. Like, okay.
God.
Pisses me off.
Cringe.
So Coulson decides that he is going to go in to save Chan instead of Ward because Sky being on the team was Coulson's decision. So he sees it as his mess to clean up. So the American and Chinese SHIELD branches all like SWAT team into the testing facility. And May is amazing, obviously. She like single-handedly gets past 3 guys in like half a second.
Queen.
So just very efficiently, they get through all of security. And they finally find Chan, who is so happy to see Agent Kwan again, so he can burn a hole straight through him.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. So when they are like breaking in, the explosive that Coulson uses to enter the centipede facility, it's similar to the one he used in the first Iron Man movie.
Oh, really?
And the Wikipedia says, and he strikes a similar pose when using it.
Oh.
I didn't notice, but now I want to go back and watch.
That's cute. Aww.
I love that. A little nonverbal reference.
Yeah, that's cool. So Coulson and May are like hiding behind some things, and Coulson is trying to talk Chan down, but it doesn't work. So then May tries in Cantonese, and she gives him the very cliche, like, once you're a villain, there's no going back. And Chan's like, I clearly don't want to go back. Obviously. And Coulson, not understanding a word that they're saying, is like, so we're good, right? That it made me laugh a lot.
It's such amazing line delivery from Clark in this episode. He is hilarious, and I love him.
Truly. So the team decides together to let the hackers go ahead and save the day because we use every resource at our disposal in this house / plane. So then we cut back to Chan / Scorch monologuing as villains do, and he apparently quotes a song that I wrote recently.
Oh my god, she's famous.
I'm famous. He's like, you bend someone long enough and they break. Except not Scorch, though. Scorch won't break. So May distracts him, and Coulson tries to use the night-night gun on him, but Scorch literally melts the bullets in midair. So very, very quickly, Coulson runs out of ammo, so they run. Nice. Raina and Dr. Debbie meet as they're, like, running for the elevator, and Raina is, like, forcing the doctor out of the elevator. Dr. Debbie's like, he's gonna combust, and Raina's like, wouldn't be the first one to blow up on you, which is when it like fully confirmed to me that she was Mike's doctor, not doctor from the first episode.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure before then.
God, Raina in this scene is so, I'm sorry, I love her. Like, when she's walking away and she goes, I'm starting to think that you're bad luck.
Yeah.
And then as like the elevator doors are closing, I don't even, what does she say? She says something like, I wish you all the best.
Incredible.
She's a queen. I'm sorry. I love her. I love a good bitch. Like, she's not just a villain, but she's a bitch. And I love it. I love her. I love a mean girl.
We do. So, back at the plane, Sky manages to unlock the doors of the building, which is, I'm like just now realizing that the doors were locked to begin with, which now makes sense why they had to like rappel in through the ceiling. Simmons is trying to get the facility's computers back online, and Coulson tells her to have Miles help because desperate times call for desperate measures. So Scorch is going after Raina and the doctor, but Raina has already gotten away in the elevator, which, like, I mean, fire evacuation safety my whole life has told me to never take an elevator in the fire, but I guess it's fine here because I guess the building is not on fire. There just is fire in the building.
The elevator knows that she's a queen.
True.
She cannot be contained.
I can't be tamed. So anyway, so Raina's gotten away. The Dr. Debbie is stuck in the hallway with Scorch, and she tries to manipulate her way out, but she ends up getting burnt to a crisp, like Raiders Ark style. It was amazing.
It was brutal.
It was.
This episode, I think people thought it was like more mature than previous episodes because, you know, they have quite a few deaths in this episode and they're pretty brutal death scenes.
Yeah.
And they featured like a Marvel like superhero / villain, you know, with like superpowers.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So May comes in for the save, but Scorch is about to like combust, so they gotta get out of there. And the whole team finally gets out of the building like the second before he blows up, and he blows the roof off. And I'm wondering, like, how often do they actually save the person that they're like on their mission to save? Because so far they don't have a great track record.
I mean, technically they saved Aquila in the last episode, but they also technically weren't assigned that mission,
right? And
technically weren't supposed to save her, only apprehend her.
right. So you know, just a little something I observed. So Ward and Coulson are talking. They're back on the plane now, and Ward says that Sky actually stole some of Centipede's files, and so Coulson gives a look like he's ready to give Sky a chance to redeem herself, which I'm so glad about.
Yeah.
I hate when dads and daughters fight. So Coulson gives Miles a like fancy probation bracelet,
the
like,
finest jewelry.
So cute. And it can like control his tech use basically for a while. He also reveals that S.H.I.E.L.D. stole back the money that Miles made from selling out Chan, and they donated it. And they leave Miles stranded in Hong Kong to find his own way back to Austin. That was so funny.
It's a pretty good punishment. They're like, you know what? We're not going to put you in jail, but you can't use your computer anymore. We're going to make sure you can't use your computer anymore. And you got to find your way back to Texas.
Good luck.
Bye.
Good luck buying a plane ticket without your computer.
God, god. Seriously.
Amazing.
Coulson was like, I wish you all the best.
Truly.
They're not so different, Coulson and Raina.
So then Coulson calls Sky into his office with the exact same tone that got me fired once, so my blood pressure is skyrocketing. Get it? Skyrocketing?
I mean, God, when I got fired from the job that we both had, they made it sound super casual when they called me up. And, like, that's even worse. Like, I thought they were going to ask me to go pick up lunch or something. And they were like, we don't think it's a good fit. And I was like, okay, this ruined my whole day. I was having an okay day until just now. Thought it was just a normal day at work. Anyways.
So before Sky goes in to talk to Coulson, she and Miles say goodbye. And Miles is like, you've changed. And Sky goes, good. And Miles is like, I meant you're not who you used to be. Like, that's what that means, you idiot.
What do you think change means, my dude?
You said the same thing twice.
You are really not as smart as you seem.
So stupid. So then Sky goes over to Ward and May. They're drinking at the bar and she's trying to like apologize, and she asks if Ward needs to be in the room as her SO. But yeah, understandably this time, so like I'll allow it.
Begrudgingly, I'll allow it.
Yeah, yes. So Sky goes in to talk to Coulson alone, and Coulson gives her an ultimatum. She has to tell him every secret that she's been keeping or she's done. So Sky pulls out the microchip that she keeps in her bra at all times, and she reveals that it has all of her own dirt on it. Not just from being in her bra, but like inside it. And so her secret is actually very serious. It's not funny at all. Her secret was that she was trying to find out about her own past and her like family history, but every document that she found was redacted by S.H.I.E.L.D. So she was using this job to find out why. And like, yeah, I would do the same thing. Like, that's fucked.
Yeah.
So Coulson offers to help her find her answers, but he still makes her wear the same like techie prison bracelet that he gave Miles. It's like, good for him. Boundaries. We like boundaries.
They match. They have friendship bracelets.
Yeah.
So Brent Fletcher, who wrote the episode, says that that scene between Coulson and Sky spoke to the like underlying bond that was developing between the two. Even despite the situation, how upset he was with her. And he added that the relationship was a real underpinning of the show, which I agree with. I think that it's a very important part of the show now and going forward. I like that they stayed consistent with that.
Yeah, I think you can really feel that. So then it's time for the post-content.
After credit scene.
Yeah. So Raina tries to convince some unknown prisoner, although the cast list that like shows up on Amazon Prime when you pause says that his name was Poe. She's trying to convince Poe to give her some information. And to do that, he has to talk to someone that he doesn't want to talk to. Or, well, he has to touch someone that doesn't like to be touched. Which, like, I wouldn't want to do that either. Like, consent, Raina. Come on. Anyway, so the someone who doesn't like to be touched is only named as the clairvoyant. Spooky. So Poe ends the conversation with, I like your dress. And Raina gives like a good old fashioned Han Solo, I know. Oh, what a line.
Queen.
Incredible. So then that's it.
The first mention of the clairvoyant, light, like a little gentle spoiler for you. The clairvoyant.
A foreshadowing.
Yeah, let's say a foreshadowing. The clairvoyant is going to be important, and I'm so excited for this storyline. I'm so excited to talk about it. I'm so excited for you to watch it unfold. Oh, I'm so glad we're doing this, because now I get to hear every little thought that you have about my favorite show. This is my dream. This is exactly what I've always wanted.
Yes. So, overall thoughts on the episode?
My only little last note on this episode, like a fun fact, Bear McCreary, the composer, our friend.
Ooh, we love him.
Yes, we love him. He wanted to introduce Chinese instruments into the score to support like the Hong Kong setting. And so he collaborated with a composer named Jeremy Zuckerman, who played the guzhen for the episode.
Cool.
We tried to look up pronunciations of that.
If we butchered them, we're so sorry.
I know that we butchered them, and I am so sorry.
We tried our best.
I was homeschooled. Like, I can't stress that enough. I don't know how to pronounce most words.
Yeah. So my overall thoughts on the episode, I loved that we got a taste of Sky's background, and like I can't wait to dig into that some more. I think that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
Also, I can't wait to see how Ward's jealousy is going to like progress their relationship. That's been super fun. There was not nearly enough Fitzsimmons in this episode. We need more of them.
Yes, agreed.
Honestly, this was not my favorite episode so far. Like, it had some really good moments, but like it was a little disjointed. I feel like I had trouble staying focused, you know?
Yeah, I can see that. I think this episode stood out to me more having watched the entire show. It's more plot driven. It drives the plot forward, where some of the last few episodes I feel had been more character driven, kind of fleshing out the team itself. And you know, because I know how this plot goes, I'm very excited for it to be driven forward. But I can see upon first watch how that wouldn't come across. Yeah. And just a side note, in my research, I saw that Louis Ozawa was in another show that I really loved. I didn't recognize that it was him, but it was called Hunters. He starred in it with my husband, Logan Lerman.
Oh.
I think it's an Amazon Prime show. You should go watch it. It's amazing, and it's about Nazi hunters. Okay. And we love Nazi hunters in this household.
We love hunting Nazis.
We hate Nazis. Obviously.
We hate Nazis and we love hunting them.
Yes. Go watch Hunters. It's good, and it has my husband. Okay?
We'll see.
So that concludes our episode on Girl in the Flower Dress. If you want to go ahead and keep up with us, follow us on TikTok at Agents of Nothing Podcast, on Twitter at Agent Nothing Pod, and you can also go to anchor.fm/Agents of Nothing and send us a voice message with your thoughts. We really want to hear from you.
Yes, please do it.
And if we get enough listeners, you can donate to us, which we say this every time. We wouldn't turn it down.
Yep.
And you can also email us with your thoughts and theories at agentsofnothingpodcast@gmail.com. Very, very much looking forward to, hopefully eventually getting a few emails. I really want to hear from people, genuinely.
Yeah.
You can follow me, Mariah, on Twitter at FullSwampWitch_, on TikTok at Submarine Warfare, and on Instagram at Submarine Warfare.
Or you can follow me, Caroline, on Twitter at RustyPage95, on Instagram at _RustyPage, or on TikTok at CrazyGinger995. Next week, we'll be covering Season 1, Episode 6, so stay tuned for that. Okay, bye!
Bye, love you!